Peter Parker Intern to Bruce Banner by 107th Infantry. Chapter 33. Lunch. Peter swore that the elevators were never this crowded when he had started as an intern. He rode up to the dining floor and chatted with a few of the people he had worked with in the chemistry lab. They gave him some updates on how the polymer was doing and what new projects he might come and see. Despite how cool it was, Peter was relieved to step off onto his floor. With a tuna sandwich for Pepper, burger for Mr. Stark, and a few slices of pizza for himself, he went to the top of the building. He was starting to see the advantage of private elevators, but as soon as he saw Liz, he couldn't resist taking the public one. "How's your day going, Peter? Do anything fun today?" Liz was the absolute best. "I saw a cool lizard on my way here." "Nice. I saw a butterfly on the roof a few days ago. I have no idea how it got up that high. I brought it down on the elevator, but don't tell Mrs. Andrews." "You have my word," promised Peter as Liz stepped out. When he finally arrived at the penthouse, Peter was too tired to be amazed at the view. Much to Tony's amazement, the kid just tossed them their meals and sat down on the couch with them. "Hi, Pepper. Hi, Mr. Stark." "It's Tony. For every time you correct me, I'll call you Dr. Stark just to mess with you." Pepper grinned at him. Tony needed more sassy people in his life, she thought. Too many sycophants, even unintentional ones, surrounded him. "I'll start calling you Mr. Parker then," Tony countered. "Good. I am an intern after all." "You two are ridiculous," Pepper finally interjected. "Thank you for the food, Peter. Brienne was definitely stressed despite my best efforts. I guess I forgot that some people don't entirely give up their lives to be someone's assistant." She threw a fake glare at Tony. "You're the CEO," he protested. "And before that?" "You were very undervalued and I'm extremely sorry." "Good." Peter hadn't seen this type of play between adults for a long time. It was no one's fault really, but growing up with just May had meant a lot of nights of TV dinners alone, or just them watching a show. This was different. He liked it. "How's being a CEO going?" Peter asked. "I'm forever grateful for those NDAs. 3 separate people have asked me who you are today." She looked at his stunned face. No, it's because Tony brought you to that meeting. Well, and that every single problem you hear about is resolved within a few hours. Good job on those programmers, by the way." "Thanks. Bruce told me you still wanted to intern once school started up. I'll make sure it happens, but you're always welcome up here." "Thanks." They all chatted for a bit about which intern was most likely to run a department eventually. Apparently, Tony had started keeping tabs on them, and what type of ice cream was best. By the time it was time to go, Peter felt a bit reluctant to. He got down the elevator and turned to look back at Tony. Was that guilt on his face? Peter shook his head. Best not to worry. Besides, he had some knives to make for Nat. Chapter 34. Knives. Peter worked on the throwing knives part-time for the rest of his week. They had little spiders arranged, so each spider's legs interlocked with the next to create an unbroken pattern. Favours had been called in to get assistance to make sure they would fly straight and land correctly. Bruce clapped Peter on the back when he saw them. "Nat will love those. When are you going to give them to her?" "When we train today." "Well, get on with it then. I know you're eager. You can leave a bit early if you want." "Thanks, Dr. B." Peter was out of the door before Bruce could say anything else. He just chuckled and got back to work on a new radiation apparatus. Peter took the elevator to the training floor, realising he still needed to check out from his internship, took the elevator back down to the intern floor, and finally arrived 5 minutes late, totally unaware that everyone who had seen him was wondering why he was carrying an intricate leather satchel labelled throwing knives. "Peter," Natasha called from their training area. "I'm here," Peter called, running in. "You're late." "And you're early?" Peter attempted. He hid the bag behind his back. Natasha made an ineffective grab. Peter scurried up the wall and tucked the package in a brace that held up the ceiling. It's for the end of our lesson, Peter declared, climbing back down. Sure it is. Get down here and fight me, Mr. Spidey boy. Hey, in Russia you have to earn the title of man. I'm pretty sure that's a lie, and we're not even in Russia. An hour later, Peter was tired in ways he never knew he could be after the transformation. His muscles actually burned from using Captain America's old equipment. Nat was having trouble hiding that she was impressed. Okay, Peter, I've got to admit you did okay. I bench pressed an elephant. You did fine. Bring down that package and we'll talk. Peter lost his lethargy. He jumped up to the package and dropped back down in a heartbeat. You've got to be nice about it. They're the first set I've ever made. I got help from some of the engineering guys and the chemistry team helped me with the etching. But they might not be what you're used to. I know Mr. Stark makes most of your weapons. And I know you're used to military issue stuff. Peter looked up. Nat was looking at his hands. The bag was still closed. Peter, I have no idea what you're talking about, but thank you. Oh, oops, I mean, it's fine if you don't like them. You don't have to keep them. Peter, the bag. You need to open it. Peter sheepishly unclasped the leather bag. 4 gorgeous knives stared back at Natasha. They looked stunningly sharp, and the design was stunningly unique. The spiders were not Black Widows. They were larger, with gentle curves. They looked friendly, even set on the edge of a knife. For training me, Peter explained. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Thank you, Peter. They're beautiful. Are you all right? She wasn't all right. She wasn't supposed to get a kid. They said they'd taken that from her. They said it was a weakness. Yes. I've got to catch the train home. See you later, Nat. Don't do anything with those that I wouldn't do. Stay safe, Peter. What a wonderful weakness to have. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a lovely day.